reservation agents today. So I've been
Oh,
training them all day. Exciting thing.
that's awesome.
They'll be live on the phone tomorrow.
So that's for Omada, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I just hope they sell some rooms.
Of course you will.
They have to average to really make good money on the commissions about 2 to 3 a day. Where is Angela? I just got off the phone with her. Here in the list.
Yeah, probably she's dialing in. Yeah.
So Matt, does that mean you're in a position now where we want to get the Omada account started?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Congratulations on all that.
Thanks. It's been a bit of a long road, but now that I'm able to onboard some more people, I'm going to be looking at kind of moving away from HTS and focusing even more of my time on Omada and Angela and you guys doing all of that. HTS takes up a lot of my time. I have to be at their office 2 days a week. They have some other changes going on there as well. So it's kind of a good phase point to kind of switch focuses. And it's a good time of the year too. Very busy and extended stay in Q1.
Well, I'm looking forward to
Chicago
with you. Say that again?
I said, unless you're in Chicago. Nobody's doing anything up there right now. It's like -40 or something.
Yeah, I've seen all that on the news.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a lot of, like as cold as Antarctica.
Jesus.
Matthew, that's where you want to be, right?
No. Not in Antarctica.
So I know you don't like it above 68.
No, I don't. I don't need it below 40 either.
So when would you like to get the new account set up? Should we pull the trigger on that now?
Let's do Friday. I've got to finish training the agents today, and then I've got a full day at the office tomorrow. And then I'll be available all day on Friday.
Okay. And are we gonna get your new folks set up on Sales Assistant as well?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
I don't know if we'll do that like right away. New people in Salesforce get very intimidated.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
They need time to learn the basics before you start adding things on top of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Are
you going to be using the sales
to do
tool?
that?
Are you going to be using the inbox sale tool for Salesforce? Do you know, for these people? Because I know they have one.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. The inbox sales tool?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Salesforce. So Salesforce has a plugin for inbox. They call it Inbox, I think. So there may be some redundancy there.
Yeah. The ones that I've used in the past, I've used Outlook for Salesforce, which syncs records and stuff. I don't like it. I haven't seen a lot of integration tools that really function all that well. Y'all's is actually one of the better ones that I've ever seen.
Wow.
So I would say within probably a week or so, I'll give them that, and
Okay.
then give them access to the email templates and stuff. For now, I just want them to answer the phone
Yeah.
and be able to talk about the room, and then I'll start giving them additional tools as they kind of progress. If I dumped it all on them today, they would be completely overwhelmed.
They'd quit on him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
Baby steps.
I think we've made some decent progress, at least as far as getting the HTS mind map done, and it sounds like that's probably immaterial for you, Matt, if you're kind of shifting away from the HTS. But nevertheless, at least we've got, I think, at least our first playbook together. So,
Well, that's exciting.
yeah, you know,
I told
and
him.
again, I mean, it's just we can keep on growing it and growing it. Angela was saying she's got a number of different playbooks, and again, we can start to work on this. There's a lot of interesting opportunities ahead. You know, with the playbooks and working together to scale. So I'm pretty excited about that. You know, as we just get out there, just going through some notes here.
Yeah. I don't know how involved I'll be with it. I have to meet with HTS tomorrow and kind of talk to them about what our next steps are. So
Okay.
I may stay on full time, but not go to the office, or I may end up just being an independent contractor, consultant type of thing. So it's just going to be kind of based on what my conversation is with them tomorrow.
It sounds like that you've got so much going on with them. You're almost like remember the Breakfast Club? I am the eyes and ears of this institution.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
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 I just dated
It's
myself.
not like a bad thing. It's more of a, if I don't leave, I can't grow
Yeah.
and evolve my other things that I'm working on. I expect that I'll probably take on more of a consultative role and still facilitate a lot of the processes for them. They don't have anybody that can run millions of lines of data. They just don't. So there's stuff that I'll probably still do for them, just at a diminished level,
Yeah.
so that I can focus more on this stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's a typical dev cycle too. Even like for us, it's like you've got your, you know, we have our developers, and then once the projects are done, you kind of need them more in maintenance. You can't say bye-bye, but you still need them around because they are the eyes and ears of all the code and how
Right.
it work. So it's kind of a nice annuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideally, they put me on a retainer at about like $2,000 a month, and I just run the data for them, and there you go.
Voila.
Yeah.
So why don't we, if we can just get going, we'll jump into the HTS workflow. This is an update again from yesterday. Where we came out on it is we're just going to have one large, simple workflow for the guest follow-up. Junaid, do you want to go ahead and start sharing your screen? We can walk through it.
Woohoo! He just took over my screen. I was in the middle of something. I was putting another map on paper or on draw.
So, yeah, Junaid, let's just go to the HTC.
Yeah, so this is the simplified version of what we had discussed yesterday, because this was a redundancy, Jay, we were talking about.
Mhm.
So, you know, on the paper, I mean, I haven't had a chance to kind of draw the arrows or, you know, make a large sort of diagram. But in short, what we have here is, you know, the clickers, they take a path where they're supposed to get the next email, which is for the clickers, and likewise for the openers and the non-openers. The workflow probably is going to make more sense, and I'm gonna jump into that in a second, because what I've done a step further is that I have completed the workflow, the actual thing that's gonna work. And the good news is that we will be able to do the whole process using a single workflow now. We will not be using multiple workflows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the upshot is that wave one is going to be the welcome,
Yep.
the original welcome. And then, Junaid, you might want to sort of update that in real time, because wave one could use a little bit of description. So you could do, yeah. So we got the welcome message that goes out to everybody. And then the second wave is going to be the follow-up, the relevant follow-up to that message, to that welcome message.
Yep.
So I would say, like welcome message follow-up. And then the third wave, it really is going to replicate throughout the lifespan, because all we're doing at this point is we have as you saw on the screen, I think it was like 4, 5, and 6, or like whatever those messages were. That's really like a repetitive set of messages that we'll send out based on, again, have people open in the past? Have they clicked in the past? Have they not opened in the past?
Yeah.
Angela, I just want to reconfirm that we've got it set up pretty well.
Yes, it's all based, so we're doing everything based on this particular actions that they've taken in the past.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, wave 3 and on is exactly that. Sorry to step on your sentence.
No, you didn't. I actually paused to take a breath because there's more of a paragraph. That's okay.
Hey, don't pause around me. I'm going to take your airspace. Sorry.
Thank God somebody is for those podcast fails. But
yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. So based on the previous action, so if they never open anything, they're going to get a different email. And then eventually, like after they go through the wave, if they don't do anything on any of them, then they're going to drop into a completely new playbook.
Well, that's
re-engagement.
Talk about. I mean,
right?
we could conceivably have this one long playbook. Like, again, wave 3 represents, let's call it like the long term or the scaled messaging, where you're going to be talking to your clickers, talking to your openers, and talking to your non-openers.
Right.
So in concept, we could have like step 3 through like 100, just to put hyperbole on it, where people are just continuing again, like every 30 days or like whatever time increment you want.
Well, so I want and if I can, the reason that can you show Matt the original My Brain?
Yep, right here.
So do you see where I was going with that, Matthew?
Yeah.
Okay. So for Jay and Junaid to know that what we're replacing is like, how many emails was that? 72 that we counted up?
Right.
So this is replacing a Pardot drip campaign of 72 emails that went out like bi-weekly and then slowed down to monthly, to like a hard push at the front and then a slow drip at the end.
Right. Well, I think that's great.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's
so
kind
we're
of
all
what
on
we
the
set
same
out to
page then.
do.
Yeah.
And this
we wanted to
mainly
heavily
focused
engage
on
them at the front.
lead prospecting, right?
Correct. Yes. And
Okay.
that's what I was explaining to Jay and Junaid yesterday, is since we can't touch the actual customers, at HTS by RR now. We have to focus, this is primarily focused on all B2B messaging.
Right.
So, okay, I'm good, Janae. You can hop back over to your simplified version. Or back to MixBridge.
So there are a couple
I
ways.
just wanted to catch Matthew up.
There are a couple
I'm
ways
good.
we can skin the cat on the Wave 3, and on. And Janae, if you could just, perhaps like just put like Wave 3, evergreen or just something so we know it really just signifies really what people's, engagement status has been, email engagement status. So again, you could call it like, long drip or something like that for right now. Where I was getting to is we do have the ability for you to do long-term, like an Autobot where it's just recurring every 30 days or 45 days or whatever. And they'll get an email, based on what that click open, non-open status is. I don't want to overcomplicate it because I think like right now we're probably in a good place where it's like, okay, we're just going to have this long tail drip. But I'm just going to ask the question, what would the timing be between the welcome message and then the welcome follow-up, and then, the time between that follow-up and when people start to get into the long tail drip?
So when I look at my original, the one that, let's see, I'm pulling it up too. So, like I would like to see the welcome email go out, and then a week after we send them an email. So it'd be 7 days between the welcome email and whether or not that action, whether they clicked, didn't click, or opened, not opened, opened, not opened, or clicked. It would be 7 days between the action or inaction, at which point they would get another one. So, and then another 7 days after that would come the third. So in a 21-day period, they're getting 3 emails from us, and then I would like to slow it to every 2 weeks and then every month.
Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and we can just begin to dial that in. So we have the welcome message going out pretty much immediately, and then we have the next. If people clicked, Janae, do you want it? Well, let's set the delay on that. So it'd be a week later.
What's triggering that they go into the campaign?
Well, first we're going to just dump everybody in our recycled leads list that you've added into this. And so that will trigger them going into the campaign. But anytime a new lead is entered into the system, they should immediately fall into the campaign. And that's where your Salesforce integration comes in.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Right now, the salesperson has the choice. So they changed the status on the record to recycle, and that's what puts them in the email marketing. But if we change it to this, to where they just instantly join it, I mean, I think that's fine too.
Junaid?
I think it saves a lot of time on the salesperson's part of nurturing that lead, because this is doing that work for them. And if that person replies, then it goes directly to the salesperson, because we've got it set up to where each of these emails comes directly from the salesperson.
Right. The only concern there is that they might not have talked to that lead yet. Or it could have been a lead that was generated at the hotel via the front desk lead form and hasn't been assigned to a salesperson yet.
Why are you putting all these kinks in my rope?
Yeah. So we can do dynamic content. There are a couple different things here for you. First of all, we can allow sales reps to manually add people into the flow directly, which means if you're up for it, they don't necessarily have to update a field in Salesforce to make that happen. Are you familiar with the manually add feature?
Yeah, the box on the lead record where you click the button to add them to the campaign.
Yeah, ish, like in Sales Assistant, right? If you're in Sales Assistant, you can go in and you'll see a drop down of different workflows that they can add people to.
Right.
So let's at least give you that flexibility if you want it down the road. Junaid, could you please update it?
We don't have to necessarily figure that part out right now, but however they enter the campaign, we probably should talk about. We don't have to do it right this second.
Okay. So so you're afforded the capability. Now, if you want to, if there's a question about, well, have we spoken with this person or not? We can do dynamic content if you would like on that. And again, we don't necessarily need to go through it if you don't want, but if you do want to have content based on, again, previous conversations, we can make that happen for you. The subject needs to remain the same, the subject of the campaign. Sorry, I'll repeat myself for a third time now, but again, the content can be a bit different.
Right.
Okay. So welcome message goes out, and I'm just kind of trying to quarterback this a little bit. If we look at message 2, the clickers were 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking for when people click. And as soon as they click, then we wait for 7 days. I'm thinking, Junaid, we should have a wait step of 7 days, because what we'll do is we're going to wait 7 days before we run the query to see if somebody opened or not.
That makes sense. Eh?
Okay, so yeah, if you could go ahead and add that wait step above. And I'm not sure if I let you guys know that, but we are working on more of a proper drag and drop journey builder as well. So it's going to be less this crusty old JSP looking thing. Yeah, we're showing up with
I
holes
wasn't going to say
in this
anything.
one, I got to tell you. What do you think about my 1968 user interface?
It's very MS-DOS looking. No.
Yeah, sweet. So we're going to wait 7 days, and then we'll query to see again. We'll roll everybody up, and then again, I think that instantly. So Matt, I don't think you got the benefit of knowing this before. I'll just touch on it real quick. The way our system works is it's like this, this filtering. So in option 1, we check all the clickers, as you can tell. The reason why we don't have the non-openers up there is because we want to take care of all the clickers first, because that's the most exclusive, and then the openers second. So, clickers are most of the times going to be a subset of openers, and that's just kind of the way we do it, because if we had openers first under option 1, that means all the people who opened and clicked would get that first message. So hopefully that makes sense. It's like a filtering system.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because if they opened, they had to click.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if they clicked, they had to open. Yeah.
And if
No, I was right, Angela.
Hey, if you say confusing things to me, that it'll get stuck in my brain that way. and then I'll never recover.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We want to try to save your bandwidth and allow you not to be an architect.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, you know what would be a great idea for that? A playbook where you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You got to do that. Okay. So for the email openers, is that instantly as well, or do you want to have any delay in that?
If they opened it, then, if they opened it and didn't take any action on it, then there's a couple of things that could be going through their brain, and that's where, I guess that if they opened it and didn't take any action, shouldn't that be a shorter time period, like 2 days, where, hey, I'm just following up and, want to share some more benefits of our property with you? Because they showed interest by opening it.
That fast.
Well, here's where we're at right now, right? Is no matter what, we're locking into like a 7-day wait after the welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's the follow-up to that welcome email 7 days later.
So
7 days
they would
later,
either get something within 14 or not.
I'm sorry?
So that would be either if they don't take any action, it would be a 7-day. If they opened it, then it'd be like a 10 or a 9.
Well, okay, so let's stack it up. For example, our clickers on that 7th day, if they have clicked, in the previous 7 days on that email, they're gonna get this on the 7th day, like immediately. Okay. So day 7, if they click, it's like that message for the clickers, and then for the openers, again, like same thing at this point where we're at, because you see the dispatch type is instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, we've got these 7 days later, we've got all these openers, and now it's like, do we want to send on the 7th day? I would say that's a pretty safe thing to do to start with.
Okay.
Okay. Then on the third option, which are all your non-openers at this point, this is where, again, if they haven't opened, it's almost like you're in nurture mode or branding mode. And do I want to really send an email 7 days later? Maybe you're wanting to wait 2 weeks or a month. And that's sort of like where your expertise comes in on cadences to your audience.
Well,
I would keep it slower at that
statistically,
point and flip back and forth between 15 and 30-day wait periods.
Yeah, but here's statistically, it takes 12 email touches before a conversion happens.
Right.
So it depends on how fast we want to hit those, and based on the interest level. I mean, if they take no interest in the welcome email, that's pretty typical.
Right.
Because they're just signing up, they're expecting that, or for some reason they're expecting that. That's pretty typical for them not to open a welcome message within 7 days. I think it would be more concerning to me if further down the road, after a certain number of emails have been reached and they're still not opening them,
okay,
or taking any or showing any interest in it. That's when you start to wonder if you're even reaching your target market, if they should even be in the drip at all.
Okay. Yeah, and I think a non-opener 7 days later, it's like the non-opener 7 days later is a check-in. I think that's legit.
I think that's fine. But after that, with the people that don't have a lot of engagement, 15 or 30 is plenty. They just might not have the job, or they could still be a lead because they went to one of our competitors, and that job might last 3 or 4 months. So they might just not need anything. We don't want them to forget about us, but emailing him any more often than on a 15 or 30 just isn't necessary, and I think would increase our unsubscribe rates.
Yeah, agreed. That's why I'm saying at what point in this map, like after the third wave, they just fall into that every 30-day traditional type of newsletter setup.
Mm-hmm. I would put them in it after probably, I would do maybe another 1 or 2 waves so that we're including the Ready Card promotion, direct bill, and the benefits of being a Volume Plus member. We don't want to cram all that into one email, obviously, because it's way too much.
Right. I need to actually add add a template with that.
Yeah.
The direct bill and
so I'd hit them with those benefits and then put them into the slow drip. And I left them in there for 2 years. And sometimes it was 1.5 years before I ever heard from them. But I like what you guys have so far.
Jesus Christ. What did you say, Matthew, about the 2 headlines? The
other topic, Ready Card.
Oh, I got that one. Direct bill.
Right. And then Volume Plus.
Okay.
Volume Plus is a status of a business earns if they book a certain amount of room. They get a special account number and they can use it on the website, and it gives them a discounted rate. They have to book a certain amount of rooms to get to that status, but okay.
All right. Got it.
Did we lose Jay?
Oh no, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I just thought I wouldn't commandeer the conversation for once. Okay.
When there's over 30 seconds of dead silence, please have at it, Jay.
Right? I dock my agent scores when they let the phone stay dead for too long. I'm just kidding. I don't do that to them. I could. Most call centers do, but I don't. So I think that this is a great start. I have to jump here in about 10 minutes and get back on with my trainees. Were we also going to talk at all about you guys having us nurture some of your leads? Is that right, Angela?
Say that again?
Didn't you say we were going to talk about them sending referrals to us or something, or leads?
No, I was saying that we were
today too.
No, I was thinking we were talking about our partnership and how that's going to work and how we're going to strategize on getting the correct decks, like white labeled for pursuing identifying and pursuing clientele like Westmont.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know if that's a call for today. Or,
yeah, it's probably a longer call. Right. So you've got Westmont is the potential elephant for us to carry these. The combination of Salesforce plus Angela's marketing and the MakesBridge playbooks, the whole solution, a whole package. So yeah, we could all get on a call and talk about how we want to start doing some outreach and introductions. Just kind of lay all of our goodies and tools on the table and see how we want to do it. My understanding
the
is
only thing I would caution you guys about with that,
mm-hmm.
Westmont is the largest privately held hospitality management company in the world, but it's not one big elephant. It's a bunch of little ones, all in the same basket. So they all already have individual agreements with other marketing companies. There's not going to be a single point of contact that will allow you to convert them all.
Right.
Everybody's their own entity.
Which could be better.
It could.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince one person to do all 2,000 hotels. You get 50 opportunities to convert with different people.
Versus one.
Yeah.
But that's something interesting, Jay, that Matthew and I discussed this morning, is that probably the best way to reach them is through one of the MakesBridge Nurture campaigns.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. And we can what we can do along those lines is get a partner account set up or something. We could even use the Omada account if you guys would like. It's up to you, really. And for any activity that goes through that, we obviously wouldn't charge you as you would expect for activity that's attributed back to our partnership. So we do have an outreach type of playbook. So exactly, we can get that set up, and again, we can run it anywhere. We could run it out of MakesBridge, like a MakesBridge account. We could run it out of Omada. We could just decide what would be most efficient for us.
Mm-hmm.
I would go ahead and put it in Omada because that's where Angela logs in to work her leads too.
Okay.
She just has different page layouts.
And I will tell you guys that I am leaving tomorrow for Miami, and I'm going to the Grant Cardone conference in Miami. It's from tomorrow night through Monday. Have you ever heard of Grant Cardone?
I do.
No.
He is he does nothing but seminars on wealth building and building your business. And so there's going to be like 1 million people there for this conference. So all I'm going to be meeting are business owners who are trying to market, who are trying to get out there in front of people. So I'm trying to get like a crash course in MakesBridge and all of my products together, because that's all I'm going to be doing for 4 freaking days, is just like my 30-second elevator speech 1 million times over.
Okay. And when are you heading down there again?
Tomorrow.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we looked at the PDF that I put together with the typical SME issues, it is obviously tilted towards MakesBridge. So if you'd like to do a quick cycle on that, assuming that you want to have something that you can just talk to somebody about for like a minute or two.
Yeah.
So we can take that offline if you'd like, because I know, Matt, you got to get going on your training, and that that may take a little while.
I'm just going to be meeting a ton of different types of business owners, hoteliers. I mean, it draws a really big eclectic mix of business
Yeah.
people.
Why didn't
And
you invite me, Angela?
huh?
Jeez, I could go to Miami right now.
Well, I'm going down there and I'm taking like 1,000 business cards. I hope I have enough, but it's a huge box. But I'm trying to be exclusive. Like, not everybody I talk to, I want to be a client. I'm
Right.
being far more selective. But one of the biggest things that I want to push is something that actually makes my life a lot easier and doesn't cost me a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we were talking about this yesterday briefly, Jay, about making money when you sleep, and that's when it all happens.
Right.
So I think the email marketing, I mean, I've always been a proponent of it. I think it's something that I should push a little harder, and featuring, a partnership with MakesBridge or a new, sophisticated platform that can offer a lot more is going to be something that's not going to be hard to sell on my end. And
Yeah, I think, if it's a 1-minute conversation with a business owner, what the business owners care about is traction without having to hire in the expertise, right?
Right.
And that's, again, like largely where you come in. So again, I think, and we can do a quick cycle on, we can do a cycle on this in a little bit. But again, I think if you're saying, are you wanting to get, again, like traction in your business without having to develop an expertise on digital technologies? We have a process that'll just make that happen for you. And I gotta figure that would be a sufficient icebreaker without getting into any of the details.
Right.
Then what I think the goal is to get that follow-up call with them. And then that's, again, something where we can talk a little bit about the meat on the bones and what the deliverables would be. And,
right.
And then when that conversation happens, we can be a part of that to help for sure. If you qualified them as like somebody who's having a budget that you want to work with, which would probably be part of that 1-minute conversation, like when you meet them.
Exactly.
And there, you're not even like logging into a marketing tool at all. It's just a PowerPoint of here's what we deliver and here's what the price is, right?
Right.
And it's like the business owner just wants to, again, I'm repeating myself, pay for that end result. They don't care how the sausage is made. They just want the sausage. And
right.
Try not to laugh. It's kind of a silly analogy.
On that note,
Yeah.
I'm going to jump.
Okay, Matthew, I'll talk to you shortly.
Thank you guys for showing me this today. I think it's a really good start.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matthew.
And we can touch base again on Friday.
Cool.
All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Matthew.
Bye, Matt.
Bye.
But I think, again, for a follow-up call, Angela, we could have, again, like a bunch of those playbooks. And again, the intent there is not to show them like all the whiz-bang technology. It's more about, I've got your different scenarios covered, right?
Right.
So if we, again, reflect back to what a playbook is supposed to be, it's supposed to focus on a specific business objective. So if you're demonstrating your expertise and knowledge of what the fundamental business objectives are, you're saying, this is what we're going to cover off for you. We're going to get more people into your loyalty programs. We're going to allow you to not be beholden to all the online travel agents, right? And it's that whole thing of like, wow, you're really talking my language. There, you've got the trust, credibility, and confidence, and then you should be able to just close the deal like right there.
Exactly. So I don't know how much of an opportunity, like this is my first time going to one of these big conferences. So I don't know how much availability or how much time there is in between events,
Mhm.
but at the very least, I'm going to be having, those quick conversations with people and snagging business cards and contact info, which I want to immediately come back home on Monday and plug into a drip campaign.
Okay. The follow-up. Yep. So we'll get that going too. And we'll do that on the Amada account. We already have it set up, so we can start to construct all of this.
Okay.
Okay. Just
Because
thinking.
I'd really like to just focus on, the items that I talked to them about, basically being MakesBridge, because I can't handle any more SEO clients or social media clients right now. I can't do it. All those other things until I expand my team, and until I do that, I need to figure out something that's going to be a good partnership that's going to make me money while I'm bringing people on and not doing as much work,
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we can begin to work on, that the follow-up, which again could just be the synopsis of just want to remind you you're getting A, B, and C. And obviously it's up to you about what A, B, and C are. It doesn't have to be social or SEO. It could just be all about outreach, which is Bridge. And I think, again, the other key point we can make is this is not something that's going to take us, weeks or months to get started. This is something where we can spin it up within a maximum of 2 or 3 days. So It may be a little bit of hyperbole or hype, but it's reasonable enough to expect that if they have their list put together, because we do have the playbooks and you've already pre-written all this stuff into templates, 2 or 3 days is a completely realistic expectation. And yeah, I think they're going to care a lot about that. Like, it's not going to take, I'm not going to be paying you, Angela, for months and months before we get our first email out and, going back and forth. Good, you've got a system and we're just going to turn it on like as if I was buying AdWords or doing Facebook ads. It's like that instant.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. So what do we want to do? You're leaving for tomorrow to get down there.
I would love to have a skinned, that PDF that you sent me. I would just love to have that skinned.
Okay. What's your availability a little bit later on today? So I got to catch up on some other things.
I'm about to kill myself.
I got some other follow-ups that I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't do it right now, but I could make a copy of this and send it over to you, and then you can start to rework it.
You can send. Did you do it in InDesign?
I did it on. No, I did it in just a PowerPoint on Google Drive.
Oh, well, if you just send me make a copy of it and email me the slide. I use Google Slides too, and then I can just go in there and throw and scan it.
Okay.
I mean, that's no big deal.
All right. Well, why don't we maybe just check in a couple hours just to see if just to do a sanity check on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and my sense is if you're in conversation with these people, again, I mean, I don't know if you're really going to have an opportunity to like flush people through a PowerPoint because they're going to be going in a million different directions.
You know what? What if we hold on? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think if we could take this and condense it into like, I don't know, maybe 2 slides that's just, the main selling points that will allow me to like just those little conversation starters, then I think that would work for me.
Well,
because I don't actually need a conversation starter. I'm one of those people that will walk up and go, "Hi."
Yeah. You are the
So I just
conversation
need
starter.
talking points.
Yeah, what you could do, and here's now what I'm thinking is like you meet somebody, you talk about what you're up to, and you get their email address, and you could literally, we could have a page set up for you, like a form page. You enter their email address into the form page, and that will trigger an email out to them, which would have like a link to the PDF that they can look at.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
So it's like this in-event follow-up system that you'll have. Again, you're gonna have your iPhone with your landing page set up that we're gonna create for you. You enter in that person's email address, they'll get that email right away. So all you need to do is two things. Take a look at, I'll share the PowerPoint with you so you can skim that to get the key points down, and then just draft an email that you want to have sent out to that person to say, hey, we just met like minutes ago. Let me know when will be a good time to talk. By the way, do you have a Calendly account?
I don't. I'm going to set one up right now, though.
Okay, so if you set that up, what we can do is you're going to trigger the email out. You'll have a link to your Calendly account, and then you'll also have a link to the PDF online. And then, from there, we can set up a nice follow-up sequence for you for the event, which would be like a reminder to call somebody or like whatever it is. And we can hammer that out pretty quickly. But you could, like, before we talk today, you could think of like, okay, if I send out an email, what do I want to do with my follow-up? Do I want to get an alert like 7 days later to give this person a call? So do a little bit of think through if you could on how you want to task yourself and remind yourself to get in touch with these people.
Okay.
Is that kind of a load?
Mind map it out. I gotcha.
Yeah, and then what we can do is mind map it.
Mind map it. You don't like seeing my brain on paper.
The other thing that we can do here too is, you talked to Matt about this as well, but you're busy and you're not necessarily going to have time to do the call follow-up. So what we could do is we can find some people who will do the phone follow-up for you. And, depending on what your budget is and what you're thinking, but, you can get somebody, that you're paying. And I'm totally willing to help you with this too, because we have somebody to do the calls, and, you pay them by the hour, but phone calls don't take a long time to make. So
right. No, they don't.
What I'm saying is because you're too busy, you're not going to do the call follow-up. Stuff is going to fall through the cracks. You just want to be talking to people and saying and getting them to agree with what you got to say versus tracking all this stuff down.
Right.
So
yeah, I like it. I mean, I don't mind making the phone calls at all.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm trying to get my social media girl, I'm trying to expand her out a little bit. So I may have her start taking on some additional roles while I can get this, up and going, because I got to get moving on something else. Or train her better.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that people who make phone calls they're a specific kind of animal. So if you are thinking that you can't necessarily convert someone who does social media into someone who has the balls to putting it that way to pick up a phone. But so that's just my 2 cents, as someone who's been around the block a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. But first things first.
I would rather make the phone calls and assign her some other tasks to decrease my workload to allow me to make the phone calls.
Sorry, I misunderstood you.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
All right.
Yeah, I want to redelegate because I like talking to people. So that would definitely be something I would want to do.
Okay. So my action item is I will share off the the 2019 plan PowerPoint to you.
Okay.
I will take out a bunch of the stuff that just will make people's heads explode and just it won't matter.
All right.
I'll take that, and then also let's see. Then we'll also take on the landing page setup for you. We'll set that up in the Omada account.
Okay.
Do we have you set up as a sub account within Omada? Do you happen to know? It's okay if you don't.
I don't think we do yet.
Okay, no worries there. So that'll be us. We'll get the digital copy of the PowerPoint to you. I'll shave it down. Then we'll get a landing page that you'll have where you can enter people in, and then we'll start to at least get something going with an automated follow-up routine. So we'll do that from our side. Now, what you'll have is to obviously do that 2-pager, the skin, and then also that email that you want to have people send out to like right away. Doesn't have to be War and Peace, right? It's just a, hey, great to meet you kind of thing, right?
Right.
All right. Perfect. We'll get this started. Awesome.
Yes, that sounds great. I'm actually composing an email to you and to Junaid with my Calendly thing because I got it.
Hey, just real quick before we leave, I'm looking at the screen right now. It says 7-day wait after that follow-up. So we've got the email follow-up that's going 7 days later. Do we want to? I think we want to wait more than 7 days, don't we? I can't recall what we said. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Matthew was shooting for more like 15 days.
Okay, so no matter what, like even if somebody clicked or whatever, we're going to wait
15 days, yeah.
Because one of the things here, again, not to like overdo all this, is like we could still wait 7 days, so the clickers will get an email 7 days later. But then the openers, we could like push it out. So we could have a dispatch. Junaid, can you scroll down, please? We could have a dispatch of wait for 7 days. So the clickers, we kind of want to get on them.
Right.
So I say, let's have it a 7-day wait. And then the openers will wait, say, 15 days. Excuse me. We put an additional 8 days in there. So that our net wait there, Angela, is going to be 15 days. And then the non-openers, Junaid, again, we can do a delay for 8 days. And that way we're level. So it'll be 7 days for all the clickers, 15 days for the openers, and 15 days for the non-openers.
Sounds great.
All right. Hopefully I wasn't barking at you too much and not being a good interactive conversationalist here.
Me? No, no, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a little bit of workload to do.
All right. These will be coming across quickly.
Say that again?
These, my deliverables, they'll be coming across to you quickly. We'll share them to your Angela at Aperos Marketing account. Aperos. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.